After the territory that included Lambton County was taken from the Sauk, the Haudenosaunee Confederation, or Five Nation Iroquois, began to look longingly north from their traditional territory in upstate New York. They were trading partners with the Dutch, who had a trading post at Orange on the Hudson River. They traded beaver pelts for European trade goods. After a decade or two, their beaver hunting grounds had become depleted. The territory north of the lower Great Lakes was rich with beaver. However, this land was occupied by three Iroquoian-speaking nations: the Attawandaron, or Neutrals, the Tyonantadi, or Petun, and the Uindat, or Huron. The Huron, Neutrals, and Petun traded with the French at Montreal. Before the 17th century, the population of southern Ontario peoples far outnumbered the Five Nation Iroquois, but by the 1630s their numbers had dwindled due to smallpox epidemics, famine, and warfare. In a letter sent back to Quebec, Father Francois Joseph Le Mercier wrote that they visited the sick in their own village twice a day, morning and evening, bringing them some food and medicine. This village must have been devastated, because in writing about the medicine they provided, Mercier wrote that it was a little bag of senna served over 50 persons. They asked us for it on every side. Of the 300 persons that accepted baptism that year, 122 were sick. During this time, the French further weakened them by division. The religious practices were considered by Father Perron in his 1639 letter as the deviltries of these people. Perron attributes visions and dreams to idolatry, calling them the master of their lives, the god of the country. He calls the medical practitioner a sorcerer, and the religious instruments charms. Perron says the Huron holy men must be deprived of all their possessions. Needless to say, the traditionalists were looked down upon. The trade policies of the French put their trading partners at a disadvantage. Influenced by the Society of Jesus, the Christian Huron received preferential prices for their pelts. Under Jesuit influence, guns were not traded to the Huron or their neighbors, except in extraordinary circumstance, where a convert had proven himself sincere over a long period of time, and then a gun would be recommended by his priest. Because of this policy, the number of guns among the Huron at the time of the Huron War was about 40. In 1635, the Haudenosaunee began sending their Mohawk and Seneca warriors north on raiding excursions. This is what Father Vimont wrote about the incursions by the Iroquois into Huronia in 1642. The settlement of the Dutch is near them. They go thither to carry on their trades, especially in arquebuses. They have at present 300 of these, and use them with skill and boldness. The Huron, coming for trade and not for war, and having not one arquebus, if they are met, have no other defense than flight. In 1648 and 1649, the Five Nations implemented a full invasion of southern Ontario. Due to famine and disease and the arms trade imbalance, the Huron, Petun, and Neutral nations succumbed. Their populations fell from an aggregate high of about 80,000 to 2,000. Of the 2,000, approximately half were Christian converts. The other half were traditionalists. In 1650, the Christian converts returned to Quebec with the Jesuits. The traditionalists moved north and west to live among old allies, where they became known as the Wyandot. And so, Lambton would change hands again, this time being appropriated by the Seneca.